Ahoy there, mates. Welcome aboard the VHS Pirate Ship. I'm Captain Adam, and welcome to Captain Adam's Show and Tell, the no frills, no thrills way to get your fill of chill. Yes, that's right. It's the show and tell that treats you well. It's Captain Adam's Show and Tell, where I'm going to be showing off some things in my collection. Now, my collection is primarily VHS tapes, obviously, but I also collect all sorts of things, and we'll be covering some of those things in this series of videos. But today I'm going to be showing off my Interglobal home video collection. Interglobal Home Video was a home video distributor out of Ontario, Canada, and were very similar to Media Entertainment and Vestron Home Video in that they would release mainly, I guess you could say, schlocky films, horror films mainly. I think basically that's all they released was horror films, your subpar, I would say, sort of horror films, like I said, schlocky horror movies. So they were sort of one of those distributors, and I think they're sort of underrated, and in my opinion they're right up there with Media Entertainment and Vestron Home Video. And they might not be the best movies, but they're cool movies, and they're certainly cool VHSs to have in your collection, and I'm very grateful. I have some of them. I don't have very many. I only have 8, as you can see here, but I think they're really cool. So let's take a look here. First, we have a film simply called Monster, and as you can guess, it is about a monster. There's the Interglobal logo there. And Interglobal was interesting because they had absolute uniform sleeves. Well, for the majority of them, there were a few that they were sort of their own thing. But when you have these, you line them all up on your shelf. They look very neat, much like the RCA home video, early RCA home video collection, which you see in the background there, and the CBS Fox home video early ones as well. So they went with the uniform thing, which I like very much. But one thing I've never been a fan of is the closed box VHS packaging, which most of the Interglobal home video used. This is no exception, mainly because it's something else to wear out on the case, because usually you will rip these trying to get the tape out. It's just the nature of the beast. It's the nature of the design. So I'm not too big of a fan of distributors that would do that. So yeah, there you got to close it back up again. Like you just can't go with a normal sleeve. It's the evolution of tape packaging is it's pretty interesting. And here's a good example. Now, a large majority of the Interglobal home video collection were distributed in '87. This particular tape here, Monster, doesn't have a date on the back, but it's almost like half of the ones I have in my collection don't have a date, and half of them do. But the ones that do are all '87. So Monster, I'm not sure when it came out. It could be '87. Who knows? And it also should be pointed out that the movies that they would release weren't exactly shot on high-quality film, and the tapes themselves were recorded on not exactly high-quality VHS tapes. So you have a poor quality film on poor quality tape, which makes for not a high-quality viewing experience. And while all these tapes are operable, they're a little hard to watch because the quality is so poor. It's an unfortunate drawback, but it also adds to the charm and what they call patina. And obviously it has character, because if these were high quality film and high definition, it probably wouldn't be the same experience, because these movies are they seem like they're made more fun because they're very low quality visually. So I think it's always a good time. Up next, we have The Graveyard. As you can see, there's the uniform packaging design. I just real big fan of it. Like I said, a closed box again, which I'm not a real big fan of. Like I said, there's the back. Here's one of them that does have the release year on it. It's up at the top there. Once I get to it, here it is. And I can see '87, and that's really the only dates I have is '87. And again, Interglobal Home Video was a Canadian home video distributor. So, maybe that's why they didn't really make the rounds in the States. Not entirely sure. And another thing that they would do was just have these really simple cassette labels. It just has the title, and that's really about it. Nothing wrong with that. Simplicity can be a marvelous thing, and this is a grand example. So, in most of these, I really obtained through buying VHS lots. It seems like these were just sort of sporadically just included in different lots of VHS tape. So, it seems like a lot of people do have them or did have them. But where are you at on Interglobal Home Video? Do you have a lot of them? Do you like them? Do you seek them out? Do you want to collect the entire library? Because I'm not really entirely sure how many releases they had in their library. That'd be pretty interesting to find out. Maybe I'll do a full-length adventure about Interglobal Home Video one of these days. And that's something I should add. If you're wondering what's with the new format of videos, why am I doing these ASMR show and tell, ASMR style show and tell videos? Well, basically a lot of technical issues. A lot of things have sort of changed as far as how I would shoot my adventures. So I'm sort of just waiting for things to sort of pan out in a more favorable direction, and because I want to put out a good. I don't want things to look terrible. Even though the show doesn't really have a budget anyway, so I guess it does kind of look terrible. But you try, you do the best with what you have. That's what you have, and I'm very thankful to have what I have. So if you're wondering, soon I will be doing the normal format video once again with the full adventure, with the commercials. I know a lot of you seem to like them, and I'm very thankful for. And of course, Little Creep and BC Arnold, they'll be making appearances and all that. It's a lot of time to do all this stuff, and I'd rather just keep putting out content, making videos, and I really just sort of want to show off what's in my collection. Because why have it if you don't really show anybody? And if you're watching this, you're obviously interested in it. So hopefully you enjoy these. If you enjoy these style of videos, and also I should point out that it's important to try different things and do different things format wise, and just sort of give yourself a nice scope, a nice spectrum of material. And so that's another reason why I'm doing show and tell videos. It's certainly not going to be the standard video that I'm going to be doing from now on. It's just something new I'm trying, and like I said at the beginning of this video, it's part of like a series. So this is going to be a series of show and tell videos. So I think it's going to be fun. I hope you enjoy it. But excuse me. But let's move on to our next film, and it's a very interesting one, mainly because it's known as John Candy's first film, or at least one of his first films, The Clown Murders. It was from '76, so I think that's way before he did anything else on film. Though I've heard different things, but who really knows? And they certainly promoted it as such. It says starring John Candy right on the cover. There's a very young John Candy on the back there. And you can see the text says John Candy, from Splash and SCTV. But that was a post-promotional thing, because this is an '87 distribution. So they were just trying to push the fact that John Candy is in this, and he had obviously gotten very popular after the release of this film. So they're trying to push it. And as you can see, somebody just had enough of the closed box and just ripped it off and made it a normal sleeve. Ex-rental here from Family Video, a Canadian rental store, I believe. And they do the same thing that Blockbuster would do, where they put a sticker on the one cassette window, so you really can't see the other wheel, so you really can't see if there's mold on it, which I don't like. I like to know if my tapes are clean. So who knows, there could be a whole mushroom field growing on that other cassette wheel. But either way, I'm very, very happy to have this tape. It plays well, so I'm assuming there's no mold or any problems. But and again, it's not very, very high quality tape, displaying not very high quality film. So it's It's a little hard to watch, but like I said, it's okay. It's all going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay, really. And if something's not okay with you out there, I want you to know it's going to be. Just trust and have faith and know that there's a greater plan at work, and everything is going to fall right into place. It's only a matter of time. So just hang in there. And on to our next video. We're getting awful wolfy here with Legend of the Werewolf, starring Peter Cushing. He's really excellent in anything he's in. And this film does have very decent werewolf design and werewolf effects for the time being. However, the case, as you can see, is not very decent. Somebody just completely cro-magged out and just destroyed it by trying to get it open. I can't blame them. I do it myself because I have big ham hands, and you just shouldn't have to go through so much trouble to open a VHS tape to watch it. So there it is. This is another 87 release, and unfortunately the label has fallen off the cassette. So it's just it's just what it is. This definitely has had its time. Definitely has character, lots of wear and tear, but the tape plays just fine, and I'm again very, very happy to have it. And the cover art is fairly decent, very, very spooky. One thing about the cover art for the Interglobal home video releases is they're not. I think they were just made for these home video releases because they're quite different than the actual posters for the films, and most of them, though they have their charm, do look like they belong on the side of a traveling carnival funhouse. So if you'll notice, a lot of the videos I'm displaying in this video do have some rather interesting cover art, but I love it all just the same. I do love that style, just funhouse style. But this has pretty decent cover art. So let's move right along and right into basically what I was just talking about, cover art wise. Castle of the Walking Dead. Look at that cover art. It's just great. I mean, it's there. It's definitely traveling carnival spook house artwork, which I love. Or it looks like the a speed metal band's first demo. It's just great. This does not have a release date on it, and as you can see there, I just passed. 70 minutes. Most of these, I want to say, all of these releases are not very long films. They're all like under an hour and a half, and I think that's a good thing because these are films that do not need to exceed the 90-minute mark. This one is a little hard to get open here. I'll try to show you the. Hold on, I'll get it. See, this is exactly why people rip them. They're not exactly easy to get open all the time. So here we go. A nice simple cassette label. Real big cassette wheels because it's only a 70-minute video. So there's that. But this was one that I obtained in a horror movie lot. It was just sort of. Just snuck in there. It really wasn't even listed on the movies that were included. So, I definitely sent that seller a very positive message saying, "Hey, I appreciate this," and it's just good. Especially, you find yourself collecting these. That's the thing, because I really didn't intend to even get the 8 that I have. I just sort of happened into them, and now I really want more of them. So let's move right along. Well, maybe not quite yet. Let me just point out that this film stars Christopher Lee, and it's based on The Pit and the Pendulum by Edgar Allan Poe. So it's it's a bit of an adaptation. That's it's definitely worth a watch. It's very interesting, if for anything, just to see Christopher Lee. So there we go. Now we can move on. And in keeping with the Traveling Carnival Spook House artwork, here we have Blood of Dracula's Castle. Yes, horror beyond belief. This is, it's just one of those films. It's got vampires and werewolves and stars John Carradine. It's a fun watch. Not the best movie, but also not the worst movie. It's just one of those movies where you go into it expecting just to be at least mildly entertained. I mean, look at that. That's it is. I don't know. It's not as captivating. I mean, but you really shouldn't expect all that much. Yeah, look, 84 minutes. You know, another rather short film. So you know, it's not a hard watch because of that. And here's just yet another a very simple cassette label. Simplicity is quite an art form, and yeah, this having a there we go. Put that back in there. I mean, those flaps are just on their last leg. They're very, very flimsy, just because they get ripped so much. No release date on this one, though if you notice there it said in color, but the picture they showed was in black and white, so that's a little deceiving. But you know, whatever. This is a very fun one. Very glad to have this. Well, you know, I'm really glad to have all the ones in this collection. And let's move right along. Up next is Sisters of Death, which, you know, again, I'm going to bring up speed metal bands. It sounds like a speed metal band that would open for somebody. It's just one of those things. The artwork, again, look at that artwork. You know, still very charming, though not exactly spook house material, but still. Look at the back there. Looks like there's a good time going on there. Pretty fun watch. 87 minutes. So really, this I think is so far the longest film that we have here. So it's just a little shy of an hour and a half. The flaps on this are just completely just toast. They're just barely hanging on. They're very, very flimsy. Very simple cassette label. You know, it's just the simplicity of these tapes. I really have quite an attraction to. I just really like that whole premise, and kind of hard to get back in there because of the shitty flaps, I should say. So there we go. Sisters of Death, great Interglobal release. And last but certainly not least, probably the most popular and well-known film out of all the Interglobal releases is The Beast Must Die, another Peter Cushing film, another werewolf film. This, of course, is the one that famously stars instead of a werewolf, they have a dog that wears a wig that is supposed to be the werewolf, and so that's always fun. Not much of a back there, as you can see. Not even any pictures from the film. Oh, here we go. This is the longest film at 93 minutes. Whoa! So there's that. And if you notice, it's glaring that it's a glaring difference, I should say. The case design is absolutely different than any of the other Interglobal home video releases, as it's not uniform to the ones we just saw. It just stands on its own. When I got this, I was very surprised to learn that it was an Interglobal home video release because of that. So, of course, this would be re-released years later, well, not too many years later, on VHS with a lot of the film cut out, and it was retitled Black Werewolf, which is a very hard to find VHS. But if you look it up, the cover art for that is completely absurd, as what is pictured on that cover art does not even happen in the film whatsoever, not even close. In fact, the cover art for Black Werewolf makes the film look like it is a porno. So that's obviously it was a promotional gimmick to do that, but I can only imagine people renting that thinking they were going to see something like that. I can only imagine their crushing disappointment, but oh well, the pervs will get over it, I'm sure. So yes, again, you wouldn't tell to look at it, but this was an Interglobal home video release. So there you have it. Yeah, that's all the Interglobal home videos I have in my collection, and I certainly appreciate you watching today, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it sort of chilled you out a little bit, maybe it made you a little relaxed, take your mind off some stuff. Maybe you're not having a good time out there. Well, I certainly hope things get better. I know they will. You got to know they will as well. Just stay positive and keep the faith as always. And thank you very much for watching. And please stay tuned as this series continues. And you never know what I'm going to show off next. So I really hope you enjoyed it. I thank you for watching. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And take care out there. And God bless. Goodbye.